Welcome to The Founder, a magazine that is based on the humble but epic beginnings of the stories of creators. Well, this show is one that drives towards inspiring generations to come through the motivation that they need to aspire to become the epitome of the future. And today we have the absolute pleasure of sharing the brilliant startup story of Yavi Eliyathamby and Pinky New. Well, how are you doing today? How are you feeling?
Okay, thank you for having me.
Alright, so jumping right into the first question, who is Yavi Eliyathamby and without a title?
Who is Yavi Eliyathamby? I'll tell you soon as I find that out.
Oh, okay. Alright then. What was the idea and inspiration behind this business venture that you're starting now?
Pink Cat, is it?
Yeah.
So basically, I was working with my aunt. She had a janitorial service.
Okay.
So that was my first job.
Oh.
And I've been doing it since then.
Alright, okay.
I've never worked anywhere else in a corporate field or under anybody. So after she retired, I started my janitorial service on my own. So I've been doing it for the past 10 years. Yeah.
Alright. Okay, then how has your experience been so far, building this business venture up?
Yes. Good question, Nishu. Very interesting question. So when I first started it, people were different. Everything was different. Everything was better, I should say. Now people are different. Things have changed. Clients have changed. They don't appreciate what you do. They'll pay you 10 rupees and try to get 1,000 rupees worth. Hard to work with the janitors because they don't understand. They don't want to understand, and I can understand in kind of situation. They don't even want to travel in a bus to go and work from their home. So they don't even understand that concept. So client wants this, the janitor doesn't want to do that, we're in the middle. So it is very pressurizing. So I feel a service which you really need, you don't get at least a quarter what you deserve. So that's the answer that I can give you about it, what I feel about it right now.
Yes. Alright, so then throughout this whole process, like you mentioned some of the obstacles, but what were the major obstacles that you had to face?
Balancing the janitor and the client.
Major obstacles.
Major obstacles.
Alright. Okay, so then what makes you have your motivation? Like what keeps you motivated to get through these issues?
I keep giving jobs. That's basically.
Alright. Okay, so then what is the driving force that you have to have such a progressive outlook in a very, niche field that people would consider as a very niche field?
So outlook. So basically, are you asking me how do I overcome the problems?
Yes.
Okay. That's also a very good question. But sadly, I can't give you one answer for it. So I'll just give you one answer out of many. I would say it's a very, very tough field to be in because I think working with Sri Lankans is not easy. It's not easy at all. And trying to give the client what he or she is expecting and the janitor's expectations, how we would expect them to work based on the salaries, quality of work, it's a very demanding field. So we need to have a lot of patience. We need to have a lot of patience and very, very clear understanding between the client and us. Because a janitor is a janitor. They are not the cream of the soap. They are not very educated. We have to understand that these guys, that's why they do what they do. If not, they'll be surgeons or whatever. Call them a good job, right? So when you're working with them, we have to talk in their language. And a client, why they give us this business? Because they don't want that headache. They know it's tough. But then, since they don't want to do it, that's why they outsource. So we have to have a very good understanding between the client and us. Tell them, listen, we are giving you the service, but then you have to understand this is what we have to work with. So whether it's us or whomever, this is all they have. So So what you can rely on is the management skills. The janitors will keep on changing. It's the same people which rotates. You don't find new people unless we recruit people from another country.
Yeah.
So I would try to first, how I would overcome these problems is have very good rapport with the client. And if we have a fault even, we try to make it up to them by doing something else, free of charge, or that's what they like, free of charge. So that would be the best. And at the same time, janitors are very, very valuable resource in our company. So we need to appreciate what they do. Sadly, clients, some they do, some they don't, but we appreciate them.
Yeah.
So that's basically, I consider them my priority. So without them, we can't give a service. So I will always keep them in the first place in our company. Client is always right. So as I said earlier, balancing both is the hardest part, and overcoming it, you can't overcome 100%. You will always have problems. It's just how you deal with it at that particular time.
Alright, so let me switch this question up a little bit and ask you it in a way. How do you overcome the obstacles in life? Now you talked about your business. Now in life, how would you, what is your process?
Overcoming obstacles in life. Right. So my mantra is basically, you do good will come to you.
Okay.
So in our business, we give a lot of jobs. We treat janitors the best way we can. We treat the clients the best way we can. It's a very I like to keep business and my general life in a very transparent way, because you don't have to remember what you say because you haven't said anything wrong. So that's my number one. So not that I've been like that since I was born. I have done so much of mistakes to understand this particular part, which being transparent is the best way to go.
And how has that mantra?
So that's how I basically overcome a lot of problems, just being transparent.
Okay, so how has that mantra helped you so far?
It gives me peace.
Okay.
It gives me peace. It might not help me in financially. It might not be supportive in that way, because our country is made in such a way that you can't be honest if you want to get something done.
Yeah.
But I believe in peace and joy. So that gives me that. So that's why I'd rather be transparent than being dodgy.
Alright. Okay, so jumping back into Pinky New. So the release of your new app, which was created recently, is something that we're all looking forward to, right? So what vision did you have and the thought process for creating this app?
The magic beads. Well, it's not out yet, but then so it's a concept that, see, a lot of from the past 10 years, a lot of clients ask me whether we have this service. I always tell them no. It took me 10 years to realize why not give them this service since they've been asking for 10 years.
Yeah.
So finally I thought, okay, let's do it in style then, not the normal way. So what I want to do is to create an app. For an example, like Pick Me, you go to the app, you can book on a day a particular janitor or whatever, and say how many rooms you want to clean, or how many you want the garden to be swept, or there are categories. So you can pick one, and we can give an estimated price. This is much how it will cost. So it's easy. There's even that it's very transparent, and we send the janitor's details in advance, so they know who is coming. So just to make people's lives easier. Now, for example, during this season, even if they have maids, they might go outstation to their homes, and there might not be anybody for extra help. So if there is an app like this, they don't even have to call. You just go to the app, see what's available, and we try to do our best.
So what is life in your perspective? Like, would you consider yourself a happy and satisfied soul? Like, throughout these 10 years of you going through this whole process?
No, definitely. You learn so much because you're working with two different kind of people. You get to know everybody's expectations, what they think, how they think, and you learn a lot.
Yeah.
So definitely, it's worthwhile. It's tough, but then everything is. Life in perspective, basically.
Yeah.
Life in general, or basically life how I understood within these 10 years, or during.
How would you describe life? Like, what's the purpose?
It's a ride that you need to just go along with it, you need to, it's like this. You get good days, bad days, but then you need to accept it. I think I had this conversation with Donna, which we need to accept. And she had a very good point. She told me, you get to meet people with different energies.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that. So if your energy is in a certain level, that doesn't mean because the other person's energy is a bit lower, you need to go to that level.
Yeah.
You need to maintain that because that's who you are, which is very true. So I agree with her, and I would say the same. Maintain who you are. Don't be someone else.
Okay.
Be transparent. Be real. That's how I go with everything. With life, with business, with relationships, with everything. Just the same process. So then, like I said earlier, I don't have to remember what I said because I didn't like it.
Yeah.
So that's it. It's so much easier.
Yeah.
A lot less weight.
Yeah.
Even if you're climbing a mountain, if you're going to go with a lot of baggage, it's going to be such a hard climb. But then less baggage you have, it's easy to climb.
Yeah. Alright, let me jump into the final question that I have to ask you. What type of advice would you give for, to the youngsters who want to do something in life, who want to start up something in life, and also if they're going through a tough time, what would you tell them?
See, nobody thought, okay, let's do janitorial services. Anybody would want to say, let's make a product, make a clothing line, make a vehicle or whatever. But they would not want to jump into something which they are not familiar with, or which they think that they can't make money out of it, or they might even think it's useless. But you need to consider all that. So I would suggest, if somebody wants to start up something, put all the options on the table. Do your research. Check what you're most passionate about. If your soul is not there, then it's not there. Don't go against it. You need to do something which you can move forward with. So you have to decide what you're going to be passionate with. But then the current situation, even if you're not passionate, if that is more lucrative, you need to look into that side as well. So you need to play smart, and you need to basically adapt to the situation which is there at the moment, and give a service or a product for that. And that would be my advice at the moment.
Okay. Alright, well, thank you so much for taking your time and for having this discussion. What would your final words? What would you want to tell us?
Thank you very much for inviting me and having this conversation. First of all, I've been wanting to put it out there how basically a janitorial service works.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for that. Really appreciate it. All the best.
Well, that is the end of a very enticing episode with Yavi Eliyathamby. We here at Founder hope that these episodes might have helped you to open your eyes to the fantastic opportunities that might be out there for you to explore the journey that is within you. Well, hope you stay tuned for the next episode that we have. And this is Minika signing out. Hope you have a wonderful day.